Hello friends, fans, and Dairy Products of all ages. This is Cheese of Ages here with another update to previously released 4E content for the Aretra campaign setting. In this video we're going to be talking about the Wolfkin, the details for which were released in the second video of the previous series. We're also going to be introducing the flavor text, and basically like the lore and background for the Skykin. I was originally going to release more content in this video, including like a hybrid between the more humanoid races and the guardian races. But we're going to be going to that in the future with more fleshed out content, as well as expanding upon the content in this video in future releases of videos. But anyway, the Wolfkin mechanically don't change an enormous amount from the 4E content. It's just they basically are getting nerfed. Some of their stuff is getting lowered to make them more in line with how the math works in 4th edition. The statistics listed below are quite similar. Instead of the +2 to strength and +2 to either wisdom or charisma from 4th edition, you get a +2 to strength and a +1 to either wisdom or charisma. So only +1 instead of +2 to the one of your choice. And instead of getting like a skill proficiency and then a choice of either perception or insight, you just get your choice of either perception or insight for a skill proficiency. You also do not have the ability to mark a section of impassable natural terrain as an ally. That's going to be an racial feat. That will include other benefits. It's just racial powers aren't a thing in 5th edition, and in order to have the more important aspects of the race intact, I had to remove it for balancing reasons. And plus, considering magic has changed and like their home region has been severed from them essentially, and the setting, it makes sense to lose a bit of their primal powers, their innate magical ability, instead of like other things. Circling Strike works a bit differently in that when you do forced movement on a target, friend or foe, via like push or some other ability that might come out later, or like a fighter technique that enables you to attack and push, any of the squares that they threaten, you can move through without provoking an attack of opportunity. Now normally this is going to be a big deal, like 1v1 they wouldn't anyway, because leaving it still provokes. But if like you're in a situation in which you knock somebody and one of their squares overlaps with a threatened square of another person, this would be a lot more common with larger people with like a larger threatened area or something like that. You could move through any square that they threaten without provoking from anybody where they have the overlaps. So like if two people are standing next to each other and like 4 of each of their squares kind of overlap because they're like standing right next to each other after you shove them. Yeah, there's like one square, if you move through that, you'll provoke from one of them. You won't provoke from them. Sorry. But yeah, you can move through that little area around them if you forced movement without provoking, unless you leave it. Anyway, also their retributive strike kind of thing, when an ally within a range is dropped, is still there, still functions pretty much the same way, where you spend a reaction to make an attack on the person, as if you had provoked an opportunity attack. You just schmecked him. It takes a reaction, and is still there. Racial feats will also interact with it, as well as racial variations of existing feats. For instance, if a Wolfkin takes the Sentinel feat, and the opportunity attack that you would get from Sentinel would also drop your ally, you crit that target if you hit them normally. So like you roll for accuracy and it hits a crit, as if you had rolled a natural 20. But you still have to hit to crit. It's not like you don't automatically get a natural 20. So it's still really nice. other racial modifications to feats is if a Wolfkin takes something that augments his perception for visual senses in any way, they get dark vision as a bonus. Skykin have a similar thing in which they get double sight range instead. But we'll hit a little bit on the lore of Skykin later in the video. We're going to talk about how Wolfkin are currently in the setting. If you remember from the previous video, I have probably mentioned how they are guardians of the pass in the Accent coast between the in the range of javelins, the mountain range that separates the Accent coast from the rest of the mainland. They guard the Wolfkin pass between the two. It's pretty much the only way to get through without going through mountains. It's like a road, and the rest is mountain. You gotta either climb mountains or go through caves. So they guard that and are constantly at war with gnolls, which are basically, in Tolkien, orcs are corrupted elves. Same principle here. Gnolls are corrupted Wolfkin. So, in the previous video, where the lore was updated to 5th edition, Trailbone Huckfire's Divine Domain floating island place crash landed right there. So, as you'd expect, a lot of the Wolfkin that were previously around are dead. There's a lot fewer these days, and most of them are either trying to excavate, explore the mountains for alternate routes through to get people out, still serving their role in the mountains, because it's all a really nearly impassable mountain now. So they're basically just roving the mountains, trying to find ways through and guide people through them, or they've expanded to outside of the region with more abundance. Essentially now, rather than having tribes, war tribes, instead of their main society being in war tribes in the mountains near Wolfkin Pass, pretty much all of them are roaming adventurers these days, unless they've settled down to have a family for a bit. There's a lot more just adventurer Wolfkin than civilian Wolfkin. Although they were always a war camp sort of situation. They had civilians still, but there's a lot fewer now. And they tend to be flung out to the four winds. So that's pretty much where they're at now. They're a lot less common, and they don't really have a civilization of their own anymore because it was crushed, destroyed. They're mostly just adventurers now. As far as Skykin goes, honestly, they're very similar to Wolfkin in their natures. They're a bit more free-spirited and more independent. They've always been nomadic, so Wolfkin became more similar to them now. And they, like Wolfkin, they have sort of a Native American-esque sort of social structure and culture, with a lot of depth of religion and spirituality with nature and an appreciation of prowess and stuff like that. And they tend to have a large variety of athletic sports based on accuracy and things, and an appreciation for beauty and art. And generally, they're essentially very similar to wild elves, with a bit of a Native American bent to them in their culture. And statistically, pretty much Wizards of the Coast released the stats I would have converted them to in 5th edition with the Elemental Evil supplement they put out for free. The Acroca bird folk people, I think that's how you pronounce it, but I'm not sure. So you could just look that up and get their stats. I'll link it in the video description. Alright, so this was a bit rambly, poorly structured. I stumbled a few times, but that's essentially the two kin races. They are called kindred races because they're all kin. So not all kin. They're not all related, but they are related to nature and kin, and is their stereotypical name that people just call them. Even though Wolfkin are Faolchu and Skykin are another name based in Gaelic, they are called by the typical species Wolfkin and Skykin and the kindred races. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Racial feats for the Skykin include the variation, which gives them double vision range when they take something that augments their perception. If a feat comes out that doubles vision range already, then it stacks multiplicatively. The Skykin would get 4 times range. It's just like, boom, I could just see as far as the eye can see kind of thing. Something I neglected to mention that slipped my mind until this very moment. All Wolfkin are proficient with all spears, additionally. And all Skykin are proficient with all bows. Except crossbows, like normal, like drawstring bows they're proficient with. Alternatively, you can make one that is proficient with all crossbows, but not regular bows. So one or the other. For future racial feats will include the you get the other one too in it. But I haven't released the full spectrum of racial feats for this. That will be coming in future stuff. So anyway, Wolfkin's new stats below. If they aren't there immediately, they will be soon. But Skykin link will be there at the same time too, at some point in the near future if it's not already there. And for the time being, this will be Chiefs of Ages signing off. Have yourself a nice day.